Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing okay. First of all, I want to say thank you because I've just hit 600 subscribers. If you're one of those 600 subscribers, then I want to say a big thank you from me to you. And if you haven't already, please hit that red subscribe button. Let's get to 700 subscribers as soon as I can. That's my only goal. Next target as soon as I can. Next target as soon as I can. Nice and simple. So, 700 subscribers as soon as I can. So, I've got story time. It was a pretty eventful story time. So, I went to Birmingham the weekend for my sister's wedding. It was a lovely wedding. Congratulations to them. So, I bought a return coach ticket to Birmingham, which I've done several times before. I just go onto the Trainline app, buy the ticket I want. It gives me two options if I want to go by train or coach. I'll go with whatever's cheapest at the time because they do vary. This time it was coach, so I'll buy a return coach ticket to Birmingham. So go to Birmingham, not a problem, nice and simple. Done it several times before, normal. So when I come back now, I picked a time in the middle of the day because normally when I go to Birmingham, on the day that I'm coming back, I tend to go to the city centre a couple of hours before I'm due to leave, just so I can wander the shops, do a bit of shopping, because I like the shops. I like shopping. Simple as. So, there's a bird. Go away! Oh, 1 minute. Sorry, I have a skylight and a bird just sits there and makes noises. So, where was I? Shops. I love shopping. So, this time I was like, haven't really got the funds to go He's on my roof now. Haven't really got the funds to go shopping, so I'll skip that part. So I left like an hour before I'm due to leave. That gives me plenty of time to get to Birmingham coach station. So my dad offered to take me, so getting to the coach station was all sorted. So this time, get into the car, we get close to the city centre, and literally there was traffic everywhere. The one time I don't go to town, a couple of hours before I'm meant to, there's traffic. I'm like, oh, I was like thinking, yes, if it's just this little bit of traffic and we get through, still got plenty of time. At this point, I had 45 minutes to get to the station, which was like the coach station, which was currently about 15 minutes away. Was like, not a problem, I can do this. Then we got through this one island and there was more traffic, and I'm like, wow, this is just unusual because I've not really experienced this much traffic going into Birmingham before. So I'm like, this day hates me already, and that's not even the worst. So we are literally so close to the city centre. I have 20 minutes to get to the station. That is 5 minutes away, but this traffic is going to take forever. So I decided to walk. I'll get out of the car, say goodbye to my dad, and then off I trot. And then it starts to rain. I'm like, wow, seriously. So I start to walk faster. And I get to the coach station with 10 minutes to spare. So I'm like, perfect. I've just done this. And then I get into the queue. Normally there's a seating area, but because of the big sea around, there's no seating areas. They're all bollards. So I look at the boards. I find where I am due to line up for my coach. I see that my coach is there. So I'm like, ooh, people are getting straight on. So I can get straight on. So I queue. There's two people in front of me. They get scanned in, and the thermometer thingy, temperature, get checked, and then after the chart. And then there's me. I get the app up. All the information is on the app. My ticket, the barcode, everything, the times of the coach, what time it's due to leave, what time it gets to there, all that jazz. So I'm like, there you go, my love. So she looks at the barcode, looks on her sheet, like you're not on here. So she thinks that she's read it wrong. So she looks on the barcode, she looks on the sheet, and not on there. So she looks on the barcode again, looks on the sheet, and she still says that I'm not on there. So she looks at the receipt onto the barcode. She's like, yeah, that is correct. It's strange that your barcode number doesn't match any of the numbers I've got. So she asks me to step aside. So I just step aside because there's a few people behind me, so they carry on. Then she writes down my barcode number, and then then she trots off to check her computers, and then she comes back and is like, you've changed your ticket." I was like, "No, I haven't." It's like, "Yeah." I've just checked computers, and you've changed your ticket to this morning." I was like, "I haven't changed my ticket to this morning till this morning, because if I had, I would have been on that coach this morning." She was like, "Well, you've changed your ticket." I was like, "I haven't changed my ticket." So she's like, "I can't let you on this coach, like, because you don't match. If you want to go and speak to my supervisor, they're over there." So I go to the desk where she sends me, and I'm like, "What's the problem?" It's like, "I want to go home." So she gets up my details on the computer. She was like, "Yeah, you should have been on the 8:30 coach this morning, when the ticket I booked was 11:45. So she's saying the 8:31 left at 8:30, and you was on it." I was like, "No, I wasn't on it, because I'm standing in front of you. There's literally no way I could have got to Blackpool and back just to say that I want to get on this coach now." So she's still saying, like, I don't know what you want me to do. It's like, "You have changed your ticket and you have missed your coach." I was like, "I haven't changed my ticket. I am showing you my ticket here." She looks at it, is like, "Yeah, but on my computer you've changed your ticket." It's like, if I had changed my ticket, I would have known about it, and I would have been on that coach this morning. And at this point, I'm beginning to panic, because a couple of weeks back, I had some issues with my bank. Somebody tried to take money out. Well, actually, they tried to say they put money in just to get my bank details. And yeah, so somebody tried to take money out of my account. Then last week, my Instagram account got hacked. Somebody logged onto it and started posting random pictures. And then I was like, this is the third thing, like, to do with my online footprints, if they call it that. So I'm panicking. It's like, is somebody trying to, like, hack my life? Why would anyone want to try and hack my life? I literally have no funds. My Instagram, like, is bleh, and I'm like, me. So why is people trying to mess with, like, hack my life? It makes no sense. So I'm like, what can you do? Like, I was not on that coach this morning. So I said to her, I was like, "Is there any way you can find out if anyone was on that coach?" She was like, "No." I was like, "Check CCTV. That will prove that I was not on that coach this morning." I was like, "If you were saying that I have changed my coach ticket, why am I not on the 8:30 coach? Why am I not at home in Blackpool now? Why am I here showing you a ticket at full quarter to 12 for that coach that is about to leave any second now? There's no changes on the app. I don't know physically what else I can tell you. I did not change a ticket. I went to get home. She's telling me, is like, "Yes, you have changed your ticket. If you want to get on this coach, you're going to have to buy another ticket." I'm like, "I don't want to buy another ticket. I've got a ticket on my phone. It shows no changes." So, oh, she could see how stressed I was, but she was still saying that it was my fault. So I was just like, "What are you going to do?" So she turns around to me and asks me if there's any room on the coach. I'm like, "How am I meant to know if there's any room on that coach, what's about to leave?" And then that coach leaves. So I'm like, "Great." But the woman who was, excuse me, but the lady who was checking the tickets to go into the coach said there's another one what's due to leave in 10 15 minutes time. And she said there was space on it. So I was like, "Can I just have a seat on that like coach?" She was like, "Yeah, we'll send you to Manchester." then you can get your connecting coach from Manchester to Blackpool. She had the details on the screen, so I believed her, even though she's telling me that I'm a liar and that I've changed my ticket when I haven't. So I was like, yes, I can get home. I'm sitting on this coach on the way to Manchester to get a connecting coach to Blackpool, which that was the plan anyway. I had to swap at Manchester. There was a half-hour delay, like half-hour gap in between. This left only like 10, 15 minutes later, so I could still get that connecting coach. So I was like, yes, I'm going home. So I'll go into the coach. The coach, go away. The coach, go away. The coach drives off. Anyway, hour into it, I'm like telling my friends, like, you have no idea how much stress that it was just to get to this coach. And then I stopped to think, it's like, she was saying like things have been cancelled and changed. I'm skeptical on if this coach is even going to get there on time. At this point, I had no idea what time it was actually going to get in there. I just presumed because it was leaving 10 to 15 minutes later, then I'd still get into Manchester 10 to 15 minutes later than not like I was meant to, meaning I'd still get my connecting coach from Manchester to Blackpool, if you're with me. So I decided to look on the app for coaches leaving Manchester to Blackpool, and there was none. There was one at 1:15, and at this point it was 1:30. I'm like, what's happening? This can't be happening. I know like there's bigger issues in the world, but I'm like, I just want to get home. So I'm like, what is going on? And then I like I'll go onto the online website for the train line. I log on. There's still no changes. There's literally nothing to say that I've changed my ticket because I haven't changed my ticket. There's no refund. There's no changes. I booked a coach ticket that cannot be changed unless I pay. I check my bank account to see if any money had been taken out for any changes. There wasn't no bank account information to say that I've changed things. So I was like, I haven't. I know that. I've just got to prove it to them. So when I see that there's no coaches leaving from Manchester to Blackpool, I'm like, what's going on? Seriously, the world is against me today. So I'm like, I need to sort this. I need to sort something out. So I take to Twitter. I tweet the train line and I tweet National Express. I'm like, you need to help me. Like, I am being accused of changing a ticket that I haven't changed. There's no coach leaving Manchester to Blackpool. How am I getting home? Help. And National Express actually got back to me quite fast. So they'll direct message us and we can sort it out. So I direct message them. And she, I don't know, they're like, okay then, we can book you on to the coach tomorrow morning to go to Blackpool via Manchester. I'm like, that doesn't really help me because I'm already on a coach halfway to Manchester when there's no coach from Manchester to Blackpool. What am I meant to do? And she's like, oh. It's like, well, we can offer you a refund, like partially refund for the difference. I'm like, I don't want a refund. I just want to get home. And she's like, and they're like, if they've already let you onto the coach, go to the station at Manchester and they will be able to assist you. I'm like, yeah, something tells me that's not going to happen. So I'm like, what happens if they don't? Do I come back to you? And they're like, no, they will help you. I assure you. I'm like, okay, I've got somebody on Twitter assuring me that people are going to help me when I'm actually getting accused of changing a ticket. What hope do I have? None. So I get to Manchester. I go to the counter. I'm like, excuse me. And the person who's like comes up to me. She's lovely. And I just open up. I say my whole story from start to finish. And she was like, oh, yeah, we've had somebody else who had that issue earlier. Let me get back to you in 2 seconds and I can just check the computer. I'm like, oh, so if this has happened to somebody else, then obviously I have not changed my ticket. It is National Express messed up. So she turns around and says, "Oh yeah, there's a coach at 2:30 leaving from Manchester to Blackpool. I can put you on that one." And I'm like, "That's the coach I should be on anyway, because this is like, I think it's like 2, 2:15 at this point." She was like, "Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?" So she looks and it's like, "Oh no, it's been cancelled." I was like, "So I haven't changed my ticket. The coach has been cancelled." So then I'm like, finally, I'm getting somewhere. She has just told me that the coach that I should be on has been cancelled. I was like, why are they accusing in Birmingham? Why was they accusing me of cancelling or changing my tickets when it's them themselves, not them personally, but the company themselves has cancelled my coach? Surely that should have been on my records or the thing that I was looking at. So I'm like, so how am I getting home? She was like, "Give me 2 seconds. I'm just helping out in this station. I'll go and ask. I'll make some phone calls and I'll come back to you. If you go and sit over there, just give me some time and I'll come back to you." So I was like, she seems nice enough. I actually believe her. I actually, at this point, would give all my trust to this one lady. So off I trot. I sit down. I'm like, I'm exhausted at this point. Surely traveling shouldn't be this hard. So about 10, 15 minutes later, she comes up to me. He's like, "Yes, the service has been cancelled. You was put on to the 8:30 coach. That's why your numbers and the barcodes didn't match up." I'm like, surely they would have, would have, could have. I don't know. They didn't tell me at the end of the day, which they should have. And she was like, "All I can do is apologise, and I've got this train ticket for you, and you can catch any train to Blackpool at any time." So I'm like, hallelujah, I am getting home. So off a trot, I actually look at some shops first in Manchester, and then I go to the station. I go to the counter. I'm like, "This is a golden ticket. Apparently, can I get a train ticket?" Because it wasn't a train ticket that she issued me. It was a train warrant. I was like, but I'm seeing it as a golden ticket because this golden ticket is getting me home. So I'm like, this is a golden ticket. Please give me like a train ticket to Blackpool just so I can get home. And they're like, "Yes, here you go. Train leaves in 20 minutes, platform 14. I'm like, oh my God, Manchester, you have helped me so much than instead of like Birmingham accusing me of changing a ticket when it was actually you." So I'll go to the train, I get on the train, and I go on this train all the way home. It is a direct train. Didn't have to change, I didn't have to move seats, I didn't have to argue with anyone, I didn't get accused of doing anything. It was a nice, lovely train home, got into Blackpool, got off the train, got on the bus, came home, sat down, and went, oh. And that is when I realised it actually felt like I was travelling for days. I don't understand what went wrong. Well, actually, I do. The National Express cancelled my coach tickets, put in a different one, and didn't even bother to tell me. So I am considering never going on coach again. So, long story, National Express is rubbish. Yeah, basically. So I was glad to get home. It was lovely to see my family. It was lovely to see my sister getting married. But also that day it was lovely just to get home. It took about 8 hours, I think, in total, which, yeah, it shouldn't take that long. But I just don't understand. In Birmingham, they had the information on the screen. Surely they would have seen that there was. Surely they would have seen that the coach had been cancelled. The details, my details had been moved to the coach before that, or even that there was no Manchester to Blackpool coach. when they specifically sent me to Manchester, they said that I could go into this coach. They said, yes, you can get your connecting coach. You won't miss it. But there was no coach to catch. I'm like, oh. But Manchester staff was absolutely lovely. So that was my story time. Sorry if it wasn't that much exciting, but it was a traumatic day for me. I did end the day with some Krispy Kreme donuts though, which actually wasn't actually that nice. Those was the Halloween ones. I was actually going to do a video on them, but I ate them before I could get the video done. So, yes. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I shall see you all in my next video. So it is goodbye from me, Matt. Goodbye from Rainbow Soul. Stay sassy.